Hello, NBA fans. Daily news about the Los Angeles Lakers. I'm a fan of the Lakers show and I hope you'll subscribe to the channel and give it a like. Luka Doncic doesn't want to wait too long to become an NBA champion, and that's why General Manager Rob Pelinka has declared that he's open and ready to make some big deals to put the Lakers in a position to overcome their strong Western Conference rivals. The Lakers need improvement, and one player has the ability to bring that improvement. DeJounte Murray is a reliable, two-way point guard capable of putting pressure on the rim, creating offense in the half-court, and defending multiple positions. The Los Angeles Lakers have significantly improved their roster this summer. The additions of Marcus Smart, DeAndre Ayton and Jake LaRavia have all plugged legitimate holes in the team's rotation. However, Rohan Brombaut of Clutch Points has pinpointed DeJounte Murray as someone who could be the final piece to the puzzle. Murray's two-way play would significantly improve the Lakers' guard rotation. The Lakers have long searched for backcourt stability to complement LeBron, cycling through guards from Russell Westbrook to D'Angelo Russell with mixed results, Brombaut wrote. Enter DeJounte Murray, whose situation in New Orleans is under constant watch around the league. Murray brings something the Lakers desperately lack, a reliable two-way guard capable of pressuring the rim, creating offense in the half-court, and defending multiple positions. Murray would undoubtedly give the Lakers roster a two-way threat. However, it's unclear how he would perform next to Luka Doncic. He had a mixed spell with the Atlanta Hawks when tasked with splitting ball-handling duties with Trae Young. Murray's perimeter shooting, 34.4% on his career, isn't at a level where he could be an elite catch-and-shoot threat. Therefore, Murray's fit may not be exactly what the Lakers need, unless his role is to lead the second unit, where he could certainly thrive. LeBron James speaks on potential retirement. Another reason to acquire Murray is that sooner or later, the Lakers will need to replace the ball handling and playmaking LeBron James provides. And while Murray is nowhere near the same level of player, he is a high-level shot creator and playmaker. James' future in the NBA has been a discussion point all summer. He will turn 41 during the upcoming season. During a recent interview with Complex, James discussed the chatter surrounding the end of his career drawing closer. "I'm not hinting at anything," James said. "Obviously, I know I'm on the other side of the hump, for sure. Come on now, I'm not about to play another 23 years, that's for damn sure, and I'm not about to play another 10. I'm definitely gearing up to where the end is, I'm not there yet." LeBron could wait to share court with son Bryce. An NBA executive who spoke with Lakers Daily's Ashish Mader suggested that James could hold off on retirement to share the court with his son, Bryce James. "I think LeBron plays one or two more seasons unless the Lakers win it all next year," the executive said. Bryce James will be eligible for the 2026 draft. There are some whispers that LeBron wants to play with him, too. "We'll see what happens, but I just can't see LeBron retiring after next season. He's still too good of a player to just walk away. Unless there's a huge drop-off in his production or the Lakers win the championship, I think LeBron is playing in 2026 to 27. James is clearly keeping his cards close to his chest regarding his retirement plans. However, his current focus will undoubtedly be on helping the Lakers contend for a championship in the coming season. After that, maybe NBA fans will get an update on how much longer he intends to grace the league with his presence. Luka Doncic has already forced the Lakers to change long-held stance. The Los Angeles Lakers superstar has convinced his franchise to go all in. Vote for your goal of the match day. The NBA, like water, is in constant flux. Few things serve as a better reminder of that than how quickly Luka Doncic managed to convince Rob Pelinka and the Los Angeles Lakers front office to reposition their stance on the direction of the franchise. Earlier in the offseason, the rumor mill was confidently suggesting the Lakers would be content to take things slow and ease themselves into the Doncic era. That is no longer the case. The Slovenian superstar looked so dominant at Eurobasket 2025 that the Lakers could not ignore what was in front of them. That, of course, would be the opportunity to win it all. Jake Fisher strongly supported this sentiment during a recent livestream for Bleacher Report. Fisher said, Luka Doncic being spry, dominant, leading a very undermanned Slovenia team deep into the tournament has definitely emboldened the Lakers to soften their stance that they're not going to be so aggressive in adding reinforcements to this Lakers team. Lakers taking the right approach in building around Luka Doncic. Fisher reminded everyone that both his Substack partner, Mark Stein, and Dan Woik of The Athletic have painted a very clear picture of the evolution in the Lakers' positioning. The NBA insider then called Los Angeles eager to look for opportunities to add two-way wings. The choice of words there is encouraging. As would be Fisher confirming that Andrew Wiggins will continue to be someone brought up as a Lakers trade target until the NBA trade deadline in February. Even if the Miami Heat forward is not ultimately the one who lands in Los Angeles in the wake of these trade rumors, there are still plenty of strong alternatives to consider. The main takeaway should be the willingness to be aggressive and seek out those opportunities from Pelinka's end. Lakers fans need no convincing on the matter, but that is absolutely the right approach. Allowing an MVP-level talent like Doncic to go without ample support is a ludicrous thought. That is especially true when the superstar point guard played so well at Eurobasket 2025 that many would be forgiven for second-guessing whether Nikola Jokic was still the best player on the planet. Doncic averaged 34.7 points, 8.6 rebounds, 7.1 assists, and 2.7 steals in just 33.3 minutes per game for Slovenia. The Lakers superstar received consideration for not only tournament MVP, but the inaugural Best Defensive Player award. The team's success had him falling short of both. Pelinka should not want a similar outcome with the Lakers. The foundation is there for Doncic to lead Los Angeles to considerable heights in 2025-26. However, the front office needs to do their part. The willingness appears to be there. Lakers' newly acquired 7-foot center predicted to thrive with Luka Doncic in new system. The Los Angeles Lakers made a concerted effort to surround their 26-year-old phenom Luka Doncic and 21-time All-Star LeBron James with suitable complementary pieces this past summer. In tandem with the franchise's acquisition of 2022 Defensive Player of the Year winner Marcus Smart, Los Angeles brought in former number 1 overall pick in the 2018 NBA Draft to the Phoenix Suns, DeAndre Ayton, on a 2-year deal to serve as an adequate pick-and-roll partner for the Slovenian superstar and rim protector. Unfortunately, the 27-year-old big man visibly declined in 2024-25 as a former member of the Portland Trail Blazers, especially on the defensive side of the ball. However, one NBA reporter believes that with the right adjustments to the Lakers' game plan, Ayton can return as a net-positive defensive presence in the paint. I think he switched onto Giannis Antetokounmpo, and did really well defending him last season, so that's an example of a player like Giannis or Zion Williamson, someone like that, Lakers reporter Jovan Buha shared during a Tuesday episode of his Buha's Block podcast. Some of these bigger wings, I think he can switch on to and hold his own. With some of the quicker guards, I think it's a lot of context and very much matchup-based, but I think the Lakers need to do a better job of mixing things up with DeAndre Ayton in terms of his pick-and-roll defense. I think if you do that and keep him engaged and active on that end, I think you'll see a better performance. There's no question that Ayton possesses the physical tools needed to protect the rim at a high level for the Lakers moving forward, but his defensive production will heavily rely on incoming second-year head coach J.J. Redick's decision-making. Ayton's mix of mobility, leaping ability, and strength could support Doncic and James in a massive way on both ends, but Redick will have to make sure that Ayton's one-on-one matchups are given plenty of thought before the team takes the floor on a nightly basis. In just 40 appearances for the Trailblazers last season, the 7-foot center contributed 14.4 points, 10.2 rebounds, and 1.0 blocks in 30.2 minutes. But his -0.4 defensive box plus-minus may have been a product of Portland's reliance on drop coverage. If the Lakers want to get the most out of Ayton on the defensive side of the ball, they have to cater to his strengths and stray further from the Trailblazers' philosophy on that side of the ball. Ayton will be an intriguing weapon for the Lakers as a lob threat and talented rebounder, but his effort on defense could be the difference between 5 more or 5 fewer victories this year. Luka Doncic details first moment he felt like member of Lakers. When the Los Angeles Lakers surprisingly traded for Luka Doncic, there was speculation on whether he wanted to remain in LA for the long term. Inherently, general manager Rob Pelinka took a risk because the Slovenian guard was due for a new contract in 2 years. It was a tough adjustment for Donic because he loved playing for the Dallas Mavericks and he truly wanted to bring a championship to the city. However, the NBA is a cruel business at times and he had to uproot his entire life mid-season, which is tough for any player. The only way Donic would feel at home is if the Lakers front office and fanbase made it feel like one. When asked about the moment he felt like a Laker, the 26-year-old said his first home game due to the electric environment and support he received, via the Wall Street Journal. It was probably my first game when I started. The way they welcomed me, all the shirts in the chairs, and that was the moment I felt like a Laker. When he was dealt to LA, Donic was dealing with a calf injury since Christmas and anticipation was mounting for him to make his debut. For the Lakers to get a star of his caliber to help win now and lead the team into the future is a rarity. However, that feeling he felt during his first game at Crypto.com Arena will not be the last. Lakers fans will continue to cheer him on so he can feel comfortable playing out the rest of his career in LA. This season is an exciting one because it is Donic's first full season as a Laker and no better way to begin that journey at home on opening night. In only a small sample size of 28 games last year, Donic left fans with absurd highlights already, so more greatness awaits him as a member of the Purple and Gold. Rob Pelinka and Lakers were happy to support Luka Donic playing in Eurobasket. The Lakers are a first-class organization that takes care of their stars. Luka Donic is the next one to experience this treatment. He notably put in a ton of work to improve his body and conditioning so the Lakers can hit the ground running this season. But an opportunity to represent his country presented itself in FIBA Eurobasket, which can admittedly be scary for an organization considering an injury can happen at any time. But Rob Pelinka and the Lakers organization were happy to support Donic playing for Slovenia, even traveling to Poland to be there in person. Predicting when Luka Donic will leave the Lakers to win a title elsewhere. Luka Donic and the Los Angeles Lakers have just begun what both sides expect to be a long marriage. They hope to bring multiple championships to Los Angeles. Donic hopes to be enshrined on the pantheon of the greatest stars of the most decorated franchise in NBA history. And one day, he would like to leave to win a title for another team. To be fair, that other team is Real Madrid, the Spanish powerhouse that signed him when he was 13 years old and helped to develop him into the versatile superstar that he is today. In a recent interview with Jason Gay of the Wall Street Journal, Donic was direct about whether he would like to play for Madrid again and help them win another title, for sure. Without leaning on those two words too much, it does seem very possible that Donic will consider returning to Real Madrid before he hangs up his sneakers for good. If so, such a move would be unusual, if not unprecedented, among international stars in the NBA. It could also blaze the trail for other stars to do the same. There is a lot of time between now and then, of course. Donic is just 26 years old and firmly in the prime of his career. A lot could change between now and then, from his desire to play in Spain once more to whether he is still on the Lakers. Donic of all people should not assume that his current situation will stay the same. Yet it is also very reasonable to think that Luka Donic will play many seasons for the Lakers and then leave for Real Madrid at the end of his career. How long will Donic play for? And when would it make sense for him to leave the Lakers? Let's peer into the future and predict when Luka Donic might leave Los Angeles and take his talents to central Spain. When could Luka leave the Lakers? Luka Donic is currently playing next to a cyborg. At least, that's the best working explanation for how LeBron James remains a top 15 player in the league, at worst, despite turning 40 years old last season. He has extended his career unlike any player before him. That is almost certainly not going to be the case for Luka Donic. He has already spoken to not playing into his 40s like LeBron. Few NBA players are able to sustain excellence that long, and Donic likely doesn't have the same indestructible frame to carry him into his fifth decade. Assuming a more normal age trajectory, therefore, if Donic wants to play for Real Madrid when he still has something to offer, he is likely looking at a return in his late 30s at the latest. Doncic and the Lakers just signed a new contract extension this summer, adding 3 years and $160.8 million to his current deal. Instead of reaching unrestricted free agency as early as 2026, he is now locked up through 2028, with a player option for the 2028-29 season. NBA players are eligible to sign for 35% of the salary cap after their 10th season in the league, which Doncic will hit after 2027-28. That player option is strategically lined up for him to decline and sign a new maximum extension that will make him among the highest-paid players in the NBA. Assuming that Doncic follows that path, he will likely tack on another 4 years to his new extension when the time comes. That would keep him under contract with the Lakers through 2031-32, which would be his age 32 season, and complete 8 seasons in Los Angeles. That's likely too early for him to move back to Real Madrid. Let's tack on a new extension, then. Doncic exercises another player option in 2031-32 and re-ups for another 4 years. That would propel him to 2034-35 and his age 35 season. This is now the range where Doncic will likely no longer be at the same level, especially if his chronic injuries continue to plague him, and where a soft landing for his career begins to make sense. That is almost certainly 11 seasons with the Lakers before he begins to consider leaving the NBA. Doncic's comment may have been alarming, but it is in the distant future. For now, the Lakers will have their hands full putting a contender around Luka Doncic and hoping he is up to the task of carrying them to another trophy. LeBron James trade rumors swirl as Lakers fans speculate on potential moves for the NBA superstar. The landscape of the NBA is never static, and with the playoffs underway, the chatter around potential trades is heating up. This week, LeBron James finds himself at the center of swirling rumors that have Lakers fans buzzing with speculation about his future. For Los Angeles Lakers supporters, the prospect of LeBron being dealt has sparked a mix of excitement and anxiety. As the team navigates its playoff journey, the question of whether the superstar will remain in purple and gold looms large. With whispers of trade scenarios circulating among analysts and insiders, fans are left to ponder the implications of such moves. In a related note, Luka Doncic recently received a motivational message from a legendary figure in basketball. This communication has not only bolstered the young star's spirits but also ignited discussions about his potential future in the league. As the NBA landscape evolves, the stories of its brightest stars continue to intertwine, revealing the intricate web of relationships and rivalries that define the sport. The offseason ahead. As the playoffs progress, the Lakers front office will undoubtedly be strategizing. The team's performance will play a crucial role in determining their approach to the offseason. With the specter of trades hanging in the air, fans will be closely monitoring how these developments unfold. In the world of professional basketball, nothing is ever set in stone. As the days go by, the anticipation surrounding LeBron James and the Lakers builds, leaving fans eager for clarity amid the chaos of rumors and speculation. That's the thing, Connect can hit three-pointers at an elite clip, and score in a variety of other ways, too. That is why he was drafted, because his offensive arsenal was one of the most complete in last year's draft class. And because the Lakers respect the Big Sky, where Connect played a majority of his college ball. In order to re-enter the rotation in 2025-26, Connect will need to look like the Dalton Connect from November 2024, when he averaged 13.6 points per game and shot 46% from three-point range. He provided the instant offense that Rob Pelinka envisioned when he drafted him, until, somewhat suddenly, he didn't. In December, Connect shot just 15.6% from three-point land. When the shot stopped falling, it made it much harder to hide his defensive deficiencies. Then, once the calendar turned to 2025, he averaged under 20 minutes per game each month, and was completely benched during the Lakers' quick playoff appearance. Plenty of NBA players struggle to defend, especially offensive-minded guards. If Connect can be a consistent bucket-getter for the Lakers, they should have enough defensive help to cover for his struggles on that end. Should a lineup with Connect, Luka, and Austin Reeves ever see the court? Probably not. And I assume they won't. But if, say, Jared Vanderbilt and, potentially, Marcus Smart are out there bringing defensive fire on the wings and the Lakers need a couple of buckets in a pinch, then connect once again becomes an option for Redick.